Talking about new season, yay. Talking about new season, yay. Brothers and sisters, new items have dropped on Yeezy.com and they are fire. Number one, whoever's designed the UX or the UI for Yeezy.com, take a bow, my friend. Take a bow, my friend. Whoever you are, you fucking killed it. The new UX, the new UI for Yeezy.com is fucking stupendous. I love that they've added this little bar here at the top where you can toggle between items listed, men's, women's, slides, accessories. Love it. Makes it way easier to check things. But obviously I'm always on the new tab because I want to check out what's new. The first thing I've noticed what's new and what's come back in, look at this, the SL03s. The boots I spoke about before, they are now back in stock, which I predicted. Well, it's not a big prediction, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to, go on as if I'm fucking Aristotle out here. But a lot of people did receive their kind of cancelled pairs. And I heard some stories of people who had cancelled, their orders. When the SL03s originally were listed on Yeezy.com, they were listed for $20, $20, right? When Yahoo's first idea for Yeezy.com was to have everything listed for $20. But I think over time, as a business, you can't have everything for $20. Some things have to be different prices, but it's still very affordable. I think the most expensive thing on the website might be like $120, something crazy like that. So it's all very, very affordable. But they're originally $20, but they never shipped. Eventually Yeezy.com refunded all the orders, but there were some people who had cancelled their orders before Yeezy refunded them, and somehow in the glitch they still sent it, which I remember happening to me once. I bought a Golf Wine catalog, and I also bought one of those original fucking Frank Ocean books. What was it for? Was it for Blonde? I think it was for Blonde, when Frank Ocean made that massive magazine. I think I ordered it somewhere online. I cancelled my order, but somehow the order still slipped through and the person still sent it to me. So those things can happen sometimes. You can cancel an order, but sometimes the merchant can still send it anyway. So everyone that got a pair basically for free, congratulations. If you got it for $20, congratulations. They're now listed at $100. I still think it's a good price. I think maybe if I was being picky and pedantic, I would probably say maybe a fair price for boots like this, since I've seen people's review pairs. Big up everybody on r/Yeezy, right? Big up on that subreddit, the Yeezy subreddits. People have posted pictures of themselves wearing a pair, loads of in-depth pictures of the shoe, and from what I can see for the construction and the way it looks and stuff and people's description, I would probably say the fair price for these boots probably be about $60. $60 would be the fair price if you're gonna go by the Kanye pricing. Obviously, if these were made by a fashion brand, it'd be fucking $700 regardless. But if we're going by Yeezy's democratic, everyone has access to great fashion, great boot stuff, then I'd say $60 would be the best price. But $100 is still good for what it is in terms of stylistically. You're not gonna probably get a better boot for $100. I really don't think you can find. I don't know if I can, off the top of my head. I don't think you can find a fashion boot. Please prove me wrong if you can, but I don't think there exists a fashion boot of this type of aesthetic that's going to fit the guy that was going to wear this the guys and girls who are into this sort of stuff, what I'm talking about. You're probably not going to find a boot of this sort of quality, a boot of this sort of style for $100. I don't think anyone will sell that to you for $100. I don't think so. And the reason why I'm saying that, because think of this boot as a alternative to like a Balenciaga strike boot. Think of this boot as an alternative to the 424 boots, right? Those 424 boots with the that also cover the laces and shit. Think of these boots as an alternative to the Balenciaga stomp, like that stomp. I don't know if it's called a stomper, but the one with a really thick sole that everybody wears. You're not really going to find a boot like this similar. The only thing I can think of that's similar might be a Dr. Martens Jaden boot, which is the regular Dr. Martens with like a double sole. Or maybe if you bought a Dr. Martens and you added a crepe sole to the bottom of it, right? That might make it look the same way, but you're not going to find a similar style boot for that price. So I think for the price given, it's still a really, really good deal. So they're available to purchase now on the website, as you can see here, all images listed. No need to wonder and whatever else. I think also the images are slightly updated from the original ones that are listed on there, because these look way more finished. I think the first ones they put on the website might have been samples, right? I'm pretty sure, because these look a little bit different to how they looked originally. So they're a little bit cleaner on the upper. There's not as many obvious seam lines underneath. If anything, they kind of look like they've been covered in like a vinyl wrap. It's like a regular boot underneath, but it's like been covered in a vinyl wrap. It's a really cool technique. So I wonder if there might be some people out there, maybe myself included, who might decide to actually wrap these in different color vinyls. So if you want a white boot, wrap it in white instead of just painting it. If you know how to vinyl wrap things, you could probably vinyl wrap this in white, and it could probably have the same effect if you want, or in other type of colors as well. So that boot is available to purchase now. So make sure you check that out if you're that way inclined. Oh, let me just double what's going on here. Why can't I zoom out? Ooh, cool. Let's do that. Reset. So you see the different images already of the boot and stuff. Really nice design, super wide sole by the way, which I really love, and somewhat of a square pointy toe. And you also get this new addition on the Yeezy site where they show you a picture of the model actually wearing them as well, which is kind of cool. So you can kind of get an idea on what they kind of look like. If we kind of scroll down, you can also see the sizes that are available. It goes all the way from a 4 all the way to a size 16. So you ain't playing around, man. Whatever size you are, you will be accommodated. I fucking love it, right? So you got that. And then another big addition, which people didn't think would happen, this kind of came out of the blue, the SL01s. These were, I think originally these were called the Bullies, I think. Not too sure if that was in part due to the promo of the sneaker. I'm not sure if this was in part due to the album that was meant to drop as well. But these were called the Bullies when they first leaked. I remember I spoke about it on the pod as well. Essentially, from what it looked like just an updated runner, maybe taking some inspiration from the legendary foam runners, or no, the wave runners, sorry, that Ye did with Adidas back in the day. That kind of similar sort of vibe. Maybe you'd say they're more, New Balancey looking in terms of the panels and stuff, but a really nice sneaker. And these are available for $80. Again, maybe if you're gonna be a little bit picky, you'd say maybe they should be about 60. But I think $80 is still a really good price for the sneaker that way inclined. Let me actually zoom in slightly so you can kind of see what they look like a little bit here. But yeah, I like the panels. Very sleek design. Mesh on the toe box. You got this suede, almost nubuck finish. You don't usually get this a lot on sneakers, I'm not gonna lie. It's almost like a how do you describe this? It's almost like a nubuck suede type of finish. But it also applies all over the midsole, which you don't usually get. You don't usually get shoes that have like a nubuck or leathered. Sometimes you get a leather midsole, but I've not really seen one that's like that suede sort of effect on the midsole. So you kind of don't get any idea of the separation between where your foot lands and where the midsole starts. So it kind of gives it a really exaggerated chunky feel. I don't think they're as chunky soled as they look, but it does kind of give it that kind of impression. Obviously you got the mesh toe box, which is a nice little touch there, reminding you of the old school shoes. And then you've also got, which I really like, the removal of laces. I think all the shoes on Yeezy.com now, all the footwear has no laces. I'm pretty sure every piece of footwear that's listed on Yeezy.com has 0 laces. So everything can be slipped on and off super, super easy, which I really love as a design proposition, having all your footwear available to wear exactly like that without any laces. And you got this nice design. I've seen people comment and say that the top of the tongue, when you're looking down at the shoe, it kind of reminds them a little bit of that basketball sneaker from that guy. I forgot his name. He wears clothes really well. I think it's Canadian. Shea something. He's got a shoe with Converse. He's got a signature model with Converse, and they kind of look similar. But to be fair, these released a long time ago. These leaked a long time ago. So maybe, I don't think there's any copy, plagiarisms going on there. If anything, the Shea shoes look look more like Yeezys, but they do have a similar sort of look on the tongue here effect, which I kind of love. So mesh toe box. Nice tongue. I think the tongue inners, I'm going to say it's a mix of like a neoprene, and maybe there's some foam in here as well to make them look chunky. And then you've got the BL01, not SL, BL01 there. I wonder what that means. BL, SL, what was it? So I wonder what the abbreviations mean on the boots. BL01, SL03. I wonder why they're labeled like that. But yeah, and you've got the nice tread on the outside, no real branding. So there's very minimal branding. I remember this was a thing that happened when Ye first got up with Adidas. I remember reading interviews where basically Ye was saying that he never wanted to have any branding on any of the shoes. I think the branding was added later by his team, or maybe Adidas, I'm not too sure, but he never wanted any of the shoes to have any obvious branding on them. Actually, I think there's a clip. Let me see if I can find it. There's a clip actually of Salili Bembry talking about the Yeezy designs and how the original 350s, I think, ended up having that stripe on the side. Let me see if I can actually find this quickly, because I think that's actually a really good little story. There we go. Here it goes. It was actually on Complex. Okay, that's why he told the story. It was actually on Complex. So, fuck Matthew Welty, by the way. Fuck Matthew Welty, or Matty Welty, whatever that guy's name is, who looks like he sleeps in fucking ashtrays. But let's just quickly check this video out. But fuck Matty Welty, fuck Complex sneakers, right? In general, fuck all of them. But this clip is still really interesting regardless. This is Salili Bembry tells an insane story behind the iconic Yeezy 350 version 2 stripe.
You guys familiar with the 350 V2, right?
Yes.
The gray zebra vibe?
Yeah.
So that sample comes in. Everyone was there. Virgil Dancy, the Adidas team, about 2 cameramen, because everything was always being recorded.
Man, that's a dream team really, isn't it, man? It's still like 2 things are never going to rest with me. 2 things I'm never going to rest easy about, and it's always going to bother me. Number 1, the breakup of the Joe Budden podcast with Rory Moore, how that ended and the way Joe treated them and shit. Right, especially having lived vicariously through that pod, listened to it the whole time I was working dead end jobs and shit, seeing how they grew, rooting for them, wanting them to secure the bag and get it to the end, and being for the creators, and then Joe in the end sliming those 2 guys out. Horrible. And another thing that also doesn't sit well with me and never will sit well with me is the way it ended between Virgil and Ye, or how Ye ended it with Virgil, especially after his passing. You know what I mean? Just horrible, because they were such a dream team. And just in general, just how it all played out, it's just heartbreaking, because look at what they created. Look at all the greatest stuff that came from Ye that's still sitting, that we're still talking about till this day, came during a time where he was surrounded by so many amazing creative geniuses, from the fucking Justin Saunders at Jound, from the Matthew Williams, from fucking A-Licks and his own brand and Gucci, from Aaron Preston to Don C to Salili Bembry. That's when he was doing his great stuff, when he was orchestrating this this group of amazing people to help him bring out the best ideas possible to the public. And the way it ended is just heartbreaking. But anyway, let's continue.
And I'm standing in the center with Ye, and he's trying the shoe on. He's like looking in the mirror. I'm nervous because everyone's there. I'm on film, right? I'm thinking I'm losing my job every day there. And so he takes the shoe off, and there's actually a picture of it in the book. There's a random little like ribbon on the ground.
Yep.
And he goes, Soleil, pin that ribbon to the shoe.
Wow.
And make sure that the front of the ribbon hits the toe and the back of the ribbon hits
wow.
the toe. So I just frantically start pinning, making sure the pins aren't going on the inside of the shoe, because I know he's going to put his foot back in it right there. And so I
cool.
pin it, he puts it back on.
That's how the stripe came on the shoe.
Everyone's ruined my story completely.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Fuck Matthew Welty, man. He ruins stories. He takes horrible selfies, and he's a fucking donut. Fuck Matt Welty. The rest of the guys are cool. Fuck Complex. The rest of the guys are cool. This Joe LaPuma guy is a bit cringe, but it is the way it is. But fuck Matt Welty. He ruins the story, and he's a donut.
Anyway, cut that out. Cut that out. Yeah. So anyway, so he puts the shoe back on. He starts looking in the mirror, and then he takes the shoe off, holds it up, and goes, "New wave." And everyone just goes,
wow, clapping.
Jesus Christ.
And so that's how that shoe got that stripe on it.
That's awesome.
Honestly, what a great story. What a fucking great story. The way that fucking briefly come about was just a random piece of ribbon on the floor that happened to lay right next to Ye's foot. And he just goes inspired in that moment, and boom, it becomes one of the most iconic bits of the 350 V2, right? One of the iconic sort of like sections that kind of helps to propel that shoe. Absolutely sensational. Big up Ye, big up Salili Bembry, big up Ye, big up Salili Bembry. Going back to Yeezy.com. So you got the shoes, right? You got the shoes I mentioned previously, the SL01s or BL1s. If anybody actually finds out why these are called what they're called, I'd love to know. If anybody knows this, when I clip this later, please let me know in the comments. But you know what I love the most about this, right? Let me just quickly go through some stuff that I love. Obviously the jacket. Ye's been seen wearing this bomber jacket, or this. It's a shortened Parker. It's a shortened parka. Personally, I prefer my parkas to go past the knee or just above the knee. I love my parkas to be long, right? I want to kind of look like I'm Batman walking through the thing. I'm Undertaker walking through the thing. I'm Sting with a face paint walking through the thing. But I quite like his approach to a parka where he essentially has cropped it at the waist. It's still the same boxy fit, no elasticated waistband, which I absolutely hate. You put an elasticated waistband on this, suddenly you feel like a baddie, right? You put an elasticated waistband on this, suddenly you start looking at Mariah the Scientist. I'm not into that. So I love that he just left it straight and no fucking elasticated waistband, Wrangler sleeve, nice fur around the hood, and it's got this really I think this, if I'm not mistaken, is meant to be leather. I'm not sure if it's genuine leather all the way, it might be pleather, but I think it's meant to be a leather finish on the actual outside, which is fucking gorgeous. He wore this when he did his appearance during Travis Scott's show. I think when Travis Scott was performing, where was he performing? Was it Hong Kong or Japan, somewhere like that recently? And Kanye stepped on stage and he was wearing this particular jacket. It says here, yeah, it's faux leather hooded parka, faux fur hood, puff insulation padding and two-sided pockets. Okay, cool. So it's faux leather, which basically is pleather, which I don't mind. It might have a funny smell to it after, you know, when you get it new, but once you banged it out a few times, it should be okay. Really lovely jacket. There's also a camo version available, which I probably prefer the most. I'm not gonna lie, I probably would wear this. I probably could see myself wearing this camo one way more than the pleather one. But the real standout thing that I love the most, you know what I really love the most, aside from this fucking jacket here, right, the CT01, another new piece, right, which kind of reminds me of a particular army jacket that I have had in my, I've got a few of these. They sort of they don't usually have a collar that stands up like that. They usually have a bit of a club collar. But anyway, what I really love are these sunglasses, these SG03s. These are so fucking good. So fucking good. They remind me of a pair of Prada glasses. I'm sure some of you guys know what I'm talking about. I think that might be the inspiration where he took them from. There's a particular Prada glasses that have this particular shape, but these are fucking amazing. They've got this wraparound shades sort of style to them. But you know, usually wraparound shades, the Oakley types, are kind of, they've got kind of thin lenses or thin frames. These ones have been kind of exaggerated, made a bit chunky and bigger, kind of, again, maybe taking inspiration from his time working with Demna at Balenciaga. But this is a really nice shape. But the other ones I really love in terms of sunglasses are the ones with a stripe behind them, which is these ones here. And I'm going to show you a video of some guy who wore a pair actually. These look like the perfect rave glasses. I don't think I've seen a perfect pair of rave glasses until I saw these. These are the perfect pair of rave glasses. So safety sunglasses, transparent black with a removable cord. These are the perfect rave glasses. I don't think you've seen a more perfect version of a pair of sunglasses that you could wear to a rave and be perfectly okay in the knowledge that no matter how many adult vitamins you've ingested, no one's going to know. Your eyes are going to be completely hidden from everybody else. And you've also got the comfort of knowing you're not going to lose them. Because how many times have I been on, big up the people on the Berghain community subreddit, there's always somebody, oh my god, I lost my ring, I lost my pencil, you know, I lost my fucking panties, whatever. But you're not going to lose this. It's strapped around your fucking, you know what I mean, your neck. And I saw a video clip of somebody actually on the Yeezy subreddit wearing a pair, and I'm like, you know what, I want them. So big up this person who posted a review. This guy actually got a pair of the SG02s, and look how great they look. Look how fucking good they look, man. I'm gonna look so good in these. My order's in already. I'm gonna look so fucking good in these. They look so good. Removable cord. So hard. I like my, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like my sunglasses from the side to look like, you know, I want my sunglasses on the side to kind of look like I'm blind, you know. So they've got the bit here that kind of covers the side bit, so no one can see even the inside of your eyes, even if you're, or the side of your eye when you're like, your head's to the side. I quite like that. I quite like the little section. Usually you get them a lot on sunglasses where they're meant for people that are literally blind, but that's what I like my sunglasses to look like. I want these so bad. I can't wait for mine to arrive. I'm I'm gonna do all of the drugs while wearing these drug glasses, and no one's gonna know. I'm gonna do all the drugs while wearing those glasses, and nobody will fucking know. But there's also one more one I want to show you of a person who actually got one of the puffer jackets. Where is it? Where's the guy with the puffer jacket? There's a guy I recently saw who actually had the puffer jacket. Am I seeing it here? Let me, maybe it's on new. Maybe I can find it. Bear with me 1 second. Some guy had a, where is it? He had the puffer jacket recently. Okay, this is SL03. SL03 solid review. Let's check this actually before I see the puffer jacket.
Finally, the wait is over. After 10 months, they arrived today. Yeezy SL.
So good, so good.
Or you can call them the Yeezy boots. It's a whole solid rubber upper. And you can tell that they attach the sole at the bottom. It keeps it true to the Yeezy design with the ridges. The inside of the boot is lined with material, and there's a lot of lining. And there's a lot of padding around the ankle.
They look so good.
And on the tongue area.
If I'm not mistaken, again, because I've got my PhD in boots, I've got a couple firefighter boots, right, that I wore during the winter a couple of years ago, seasons. Jesus Christ. Imagine referring to years of seasons. That I wore a couple of years ago, and I'm pretty sure on a lot of firefighter boots, they usually got a lot of really good insulation and lining on the inside, and they're incredibly warm. So they've got the same type of finish that you'll find in regular firefighter boots and shit. Loads of real nice insulation and lining and padding and shit. So these are probably going to be really comfortable. I can't wait to get these, and I can't wait to debut them out for the first time, jumping around the street, going to Berghain and shit, going to Fold, stomping around the London streets, the Berlin streets. I'm gonna beat these into the ground and do obviously a review, you know, how they are brand new, how they are worn. But these look like they could be my daily drivers, no fucking cap.
Also goes down to the front of your foot. The shoes are very comfortable. They come in a silver box with Yeezy.com on the side, and one side has the size tag. On the top it just says SL3. Telling you, man, these boots is crazy.
They look so good.
They look way better in person, and they're really dope in hand. When you look at them, you'll be like, yo, these are dope. It kind of reminds you of those red boots, but a lot more serious. Doesn't look like a clown shoe. Because of the design and the whole top being made out of rubber, your foot will be very dry, and it's definitely waterproof.
We stomping everywhere around Berlin in these.
Material on the inside.
Neuklund won't know what hit them when I hit them with these. Kreuzberg won't know what hit them when I hit them with these. You get me? Prince Albert won't know what hit them when I hit them with these. Wedding won't know what hit them when I hit them with these.
The foot will be very warm because the boot is not breathable. There's no holes, so it will trap.
I got all the holes about no holes. I got all the holes. But by the way, can you see the seam? Look at the seam. Look at the vinyl rubber seam. If you wanted to wrap them, you could probably wrap them in all white if you wanted to. I'm sure there's going to be some kids going to do them. But if you wanted to vinyl wrap these in different colors, all one piece or all one color, you could probably do it quite easily.
The heat inside the boot. I bought a size 10. It's pretty spacious. It fits just right. I could have probably pulled off a size 9, but it would have just been more true to size and just fit. I like the size 10 with a little extra space. You can see
I'm gonna go for that size 12, no, size 12 UK 11. I'm gonna go for that size US 12 UK 11. You get me? Big up the big foot man them out there.
Right here with the shoes on foot, looking crazy with the distressed jeans. I'm telling you, if you've been thinking about buying a pair of these, you might as well get them. You might not get them till next winter, but hey, it's worth the price point. I got lucky. I ordered them early. I only paid $20 a pair.
So good.
But they're currently on the website for $100 a pair.
Nah, he smashed them. Well done to this guy, man. He got a good pair of boots there. He got a good pair of boots there.